Good morning, Flosstube. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Mandy, and this is my channel, Homegrown and Handmade. It has been a hot minute since I have posted a video, and I am sorry about that. Life got a little crazy, and it's still a little crazy. I had a really, not bad, but a lot of work for 2 weeks, and so that kind of took up quite a bit of my time. And then we have a life change happening on our end that came all of a sudden, so that took up quite a bit of time as well. I am not pregnant, but if you want to take a guess as to what that life change is, once things get settled, I will be happy to take y'all on that journey. So it's exciting stuff, busy stuff. I'm sorry that it's taken me so long to make a video, but welcome back. And thank you for tuning in. If you're new, thank you for coming. If you've been watching, thank you for coming back and spending your time with me. So I will give you a quick life update for what I can share. My son is 7 months now, and he's doing wonderful. He's sitting up. He's the happiest little baby in the whole world. We are so blessed and lucky to have him in our lives. He's just the best little baby. He's still eating solids. His favorites so far are carrots and bananas, and he loves carrots. We started those this week, and he has been chowing down on them. So that's been fun. We had a good Thanksgiving. We went down to New Orleans to stay with my family for Thanksgiving, and they loved seeing the baby. And he had a little cold, not too bad, so he was a little fussy and not himself, but for the most part, it was a great visit. My husband's doing well. Work is hopefully going to slow down soon with Christmas break coming, and so I'll have a little time to recoup and go from there. So I will jump in with my stitching. This might not be too long. For some reason, my stitching mojo has slowed down a little bit, and I don't know if that's because of everything that's going on in our lives or if it just kind of waxes and wanes like that. But I haven't been stitching as much as I usually do, but I still have gotten quite a bit done. So I will start with previous finishes. Thanks to my mother, Tina, you know who you are. My son's stocking is finished, so I'll share that in a minute, but I wanted to do a stocking show. So this is my stocking. This is the first stocking that I made. This is needlepoint, not cross stitch. So there's just one line instead of two lines. And it's hard to see in the video, but the snowman has a little beading on him. And then my mom finished it into a stocking. It's got a little ruffle on the top, and then the inside, it's just lined. And so this is my first stocking. And then when my husband and I got married, I worked on his stocking. So this is the second stocking that I made, and this is cross stitch. So here's a big picture of it, and then close up. And I really like his stocking. He's an outdoorsy guy, hunts, fishes, all that good stuff. So I loved all the animals. He loves deer. We have deer head in our house. Not by my will or want. And for this one, I just love how the back stitching makes all these animals and Santa and the house and the presents. It just all came to life with the back stitching. I think the back stitching just looked great on this one. So that's his stocking. Oh, and then the backing fabric is Christmas deer. And then same thing, just lined on the inside. And then my sweet mother, who has finished all of these stockings for me, finished my son's. So this is his stocking. So I'll do a close-up. So this is finally FFO'd, and I could not be happier. I just chose just a plain green plaid for the background, and then same thing, it's lined on the inside. So my mom is thrilled to have that done. I love how they look on my fireplace. They just look so good, and I just stare at them. I told my husband I want like 20 kids, and if you guys don't know me too well, but I grew up saying I never wanted kids and never wanted kids. When my husband and I started dating, I told him I don't want kids. If you want kids, you need to date somebody else, because not me, I'm not going to have them. And then my sweet, wonderful sister got pregnant with my niece, and my sister-in-law got pregnant, and once they had their kids, I was like, well, maybe I could get or have a baby. So then we had my sweet, sweet, sweet son, and I told my husband I want 20 kids, and he's like, nope, he's good. They're a lot of work, which everyone knows, but you don't know until like you have one and you're in the middle of it how much work they are, and when they get sick, it's really hard. And I think that's my son had RSV at like 2.5 months, and it was pretty rough. And I think after that, my husband is a little shell shocked. But I was talking to him, and I was like, I want more kids. And then I'm like, but I don't want to do another stocking anytime soon, because those things are so much work. Oh, it took so long to do that. And I didn't really have time to stitch on a ton of other stuff that I wanted to, because it took up all my time. So I just thought that was funny. That was his hesitation for having more kids is time and finances and the amount of work and all that. My hesitation is that I don't want to work on another stocking just yet. So, I will hopefully post a picture of my stockings on my mantle to Instagram once I have it done. I don't know about y'all, but Instagram, social media in general, just kind of, I wouldn't say overwhelms. Overwhelms is a poor word, but it promotes a little anxiety in me sometimes, and so I take breaks. Not scheduled, just whenever I get anxious, when I start looking at Instagram, I just kind of compartmentalize it and turn it off, so to speak. So I haven't been on Instagram much over the past several weeks, if not a month or two. So when I get back on it, I will post, of course, a picture of my stockings. So a couple of y'all sent me messages just checking in because I hadn't posted in a while, and that is so sweet. I appreciate it so much. If it takes me a while to get back to you, it's because I don't check Instagram as much as I usually do, but thank you. It means so much that you just checked in to make sure that we were okay and that nothing was going on. That meant a lot. It's fun. And thank you all who commented on the last video. I'm sorry, my nose itches. I did one of those Biore strips. I don't know if you've done those, but like the blackhead strips for your nose to get the stuff out is disgusting. Don't look at it if you do it. But my nose itches now. Anyways. For those who commented last time on what superpower they want, there were, in general, 2 camps. One was super speed, so that they could stitch as fast as they wanted and get so many projects done. And the other was that they didn't need sleep, so they could still stitch as much. And I mean, the perfect combination of the two would be to not have sleep and to have super speed, and then we would all finish all of the projects in about a day. So that was fun. Thank you all for commenting on that. So those are my previous FFOs. I do not have any other FFOs, and probably will not for a while. That might give you a clue into what life change is happening on our side. So let's get into whips. I'll show you current projects, and then I did start a couple of new projects. So, and I've lost, one pattern I left, 2 patterns I left somewhere that I cannot access them. So I don't have the pattern to show you. But this is Santa Baby by It's So Emma. He's coming right along. I worked on him a little bit when we were driving down to New Orleans, and so I finished the red. I worked on the white. I have just a little bit of white left and a little bit of his face left. But this is coming out really good. This is my car stitch usually because it's so easy and it's just fill-in. But also, this is now my end of the day, I don't want to concentrate on anything, but still want to get a few stitches in project. The next one that I have is Prairie Schooler Christmas Samplers. And I'm working on 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. And this is where we are at. This one's coming along pretty good. I've enjoyed stitching on it. The words go by really fast and it just looks great. If you have watched me before, you know that I grew up in New Orleans. And in New Orleans, there's something called Christmas in the Oaks. So we have City Park, and Christmas in the Oaks is a big, beautiful kind of Christmas, not festival because it's there the whole month of December. But they have tons of lights. They have plants. They have trees decorated. They have rides. My sister and I loved to go on the rides when we were little. They had a tilt-a-whirl. I don't know if y'all have ever been on fair rides or anything, but they have a tilt-a-whirl. And my sister is older than me, and she's taller than me. And so on the tilt-a-whirl, whenever you ride it, like one person on the inside gets smushed the whole time because the other person, I guess centripetal force, I don't know. But anyways, one person on the inside gets pushed and squished the whole time. And she always made me sit on the inside to push and smush me. But we had a blast on that thing. And they have I don't know if it's still there. They had a ladybug roller coaster that was super fun. My parents took us every year almost, and we loved it. Forgot where I was going with that. Oh, so I'm working on 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, Prairie Schooler. We all know the book and the rhyme, 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, but they have something called a Cajun Night Before Christmas. And maybe next Flosstube I'll read y'all an excerpt from it, but it's fun. And at Christmas in the Oaks, they have a reading of it with light displays that go along with it. But Santa comes in a Piro, I think, with crocodiles pulling not alligators pulling his sleigh instead of reindeer, and it's fun. So I bought that book when I was down south to read to my son, and it's not Cajun French, but it's Cajun, and he is not interested at all. He does not enjoy it. I don't know if it's because I'm using words that I don't usually talk in. But anyways, it's a really fun book. And so I'll read a little excerpt to y'all just so you can kind of see what Cajun sounds like. My next whip is Holly and Hearts by Lizzie Kate. I haven't done too much on this. This is where we are at for that one. So it's coming along. This is on 36 count Edinburgh linen. Not my favorite fabric to stitch on, but that's okay. I know for the future. So this is a new one. This is one that I unfortunately have left the pattern somewhere that I cannot access it. But this is Little House Needleworks Townhouse Christmas Church. So this is a fun stitch. This is 32 count fabric that I found at Hobby Lobby. And I really like this church on this blue fabric. I'm going to make it into an ornament once it's done. So it's coming along quite good. I don't know how I feel about the yellow. So I changed a bunch of colors because I just used what I had on hand. And I can't tell if the yellow is too bright or not. I don't really want to rip it out, but if I have to, I have to. So tell me your thoughts on that yellow. We shall see. This is a new start as well. So this is December Snapshots by Pine Mountain Design. All right, this little guy. I don't know if any of y'all have done the Snapshots by Pine Mountain Design, but this piece finishes on 32 count, 6 inches wide by 4 inches high. So it's not the biggest piece in the world. But this little guy, give me 2 seconds. Has about 25 colors. 25. And I am learning that I am not the biggest fan of frequent color changes in a pattern this small. So I've been working on it. I have lost it apparently. Have I? No, it's right here. I've been working on it, but I'm not. It's beautiful. Just the number of color changes on this bad boy get me. It looks great. It looks great, but so many colors. So this is where we are at with that. And again, it looks wonderful, but 25 colors for this little guy. In some areas, I'm not changing the colors like the pattern calls for, just because it's so subtle. For me, it's not going to make that much of a difference. And you could also probably get by with using fancy floss or variegated floss for some of it, so you don't have to change out the colors as much either. So that is New Start. And then this is my last New Start. This was my Thanksgiving start. This is Plum Street Samplers Autumn Gifts. And this is one that I chose because I think I talked about in my last video, I wanted to start a pattern that would take me a little bit longer, that I can work on here and there, but I do want to frame it and have it up all year round. So I'm kind of getting in the groove of maybe wanting to start pieces that I can keep up all year round instead of just seasonal decor, but we'll see what happens with that. So I really enjoy this. I went to the local needlework shop, Accents, in Metairie, Louisiana, and got this Harbor Gray Fabric Flare 32 count linen. And so this is how much I've done on that. So far, I'm using all the called for colors. It looks really good. It's been really fun to stitch on. And this is like a day and a half of stitching. So I didn't stitch on it too terribly long. But I'm going to work on this. And the reason why I like it is because the bottom, it says every good, you probably can't read it, but every good and perfect gift is from above. And that's I really like that verse in the Bible. And so I really like the idea of having that displayed year round in my home. My dad is probably going to watch this and comment on how fast I'm talking. I am aware of it. I apologize. But it is what it is today. It is what it is. All right. So that is all of my whips. Getting into haul. So I want to shout out Marie Smith, who sent me the Christmas Ornaments Cross Stitch magazine. They have so many cute ones in here. Definitively, I definitely want to do this little guy. And then there's another, and that one for my husband, would love that one. Oh, and that one. There's super cute patterns in here. So thank you for that. And she stitched me in, how old is this? 1994. A 1994 Just Cross Stitch Christmas Ornament magazine as well. And it was really fun looking through this and seeing a different style of ornaments. And they have some really pretty ones in here. I've noticed, and I could be wrong because I am pretty new to cross stitching within the past couple of years, but it seemed like older cross stitching had a lot more back stitch than new cross stitching does. Just an observation. And then she also sent me these wonderful floss drops. Somehow I missed the whole floss drop exchange thing that happened. I am bummed about it, but I have a feeling that our community will do it again at some point. And so if I'm not on the bandwagon, please somebody tag me to let me know that this is happening, because I love using floss drops. That's how I organize most of my floss now. So I would love to partake in that. So thank you so much, Marie. And she has a new grandson, and she said he's probably 5-6 weeks old now. So hopefully you are enjoying that sweet little boy. So getting into some haul, I ordered a bunch of fabric from 123 Stitch just to try out different fabrics. So this is 32 count white Lugana opalescent. I don't think you can appreciate very well in the camera the opalescence, but I think some Christmas ornaments would be beautiful on that. This is unnamed. This is Picture This Plus Pewter Newcastle linen. I love this one. Love it, love it, love it. Love it. This is 40 count. I've never done anything 40 count, but I want to try to do something 40 count. I want to do Hello from Liz Matthews, her butterfly jar. I asked for that for Christmas, and I want to try that on 40 count to see how that goes. And I really want to do her paperweight, her glass paperweight. If you haven't seen her video, she has a tutorial on it, and it's beautiful. I really want to do that, but I have to find a glass paperweight first. This is Picture This Plus Tyco 40 count linen. Oops. Oh, this is for this. Wonderful. So this is pretty as well. Again, I'm trying my hand at different fabrics. This is 32 count Zweigart Stormy Night Lugana. And this is modeled, it's printed, the back is just blank, but I think that's a beautiful color. Not sure, this one looks different than I thought. It's much more pinkish. This is Earthen Lugana by Picture This Plus. So it's much more pink than I thought it would be, pink red. So I'm not sure what I'll use this for, but the modeling on it is beautiful. All right, this is Vintage Country Mocha by Zweigart, 32 count. So I got a big piece of this because I know I will use this all the time. And then this one's a little bit brown for me. This is Brash Lugana by Picture This Plus. So not sure what I will use that for, but I like having a fabric stash to build up and choose from and kind of get away from my normal choices. This is a green, so this is Heritage Lugana by Picture This Plus. And then the last one I have is Gingerbread. And I really like this brown. This is by Picture This Plus also. So that is part of my haul. And then when I was down south, I told y'all I went to Accents and I got this Giacomo pattern from Mardi Gras. And I got just some opalescent fabric to go with it. And I was talking to my mom and kind of skipping ahead to plans. I really like Made by Michelle McGraw's smalls year, where she did just a bunch of smalls all year long. And I think she had like 1 or 2 big projects that she was working on, but mostly it was smalls. So I think I'm going to not say that I'm only going to do smalls, but have a small focus year next year. Especially with the stocking this year, that was a big project that took all year long. I like the idea of having a bunch of small finishes. And I was telling my mom, I want to decorate and celebrate Mardi Gras here, of course. I'm in Shreveport, but there's not a ton of decorations, and there's just not that many ornaments and things like that I can cross stitch. And she had a great idea that I could have a New Orleans tree instead of a Mardi Gras tree. So I am going to work, and I asked for a couple of patterns for Christmas, but I'm going to start working on some New Orleans patterns so I can have a New Orleans tree and teach my kiddo about the city that I grew up in, and that be a part of his culture and his heritage too. So that's why I got, so this is obviously Mardi Gras because of the colors, Jacquemus, but I got a few other patterns that I'm gonna work on so I can start doing my New Orleans tree. And then the last thing I got is this, sorry, there's plastic on it. So it's this little wooden hanger ornament from Chantelle, her Etsy shop. And I think she sells through Fat Quarter Shop now. But this, I mean, it's perfect. She made this for cross stitch finishing. It's perfect. She has a more solid wood piece in the center so you can attach your magnet and your cross stitch piece to it. So I'm going to use this to, I think, finish my son's little truck that I stitched him for his first Christmas ornament this year. And that completes my haul. I talked about my plans already. I'm still stitching Christmas, even though my mojo has left me a little bit, so I'm not stitching as much. With life, I don't know if I'll be posting a ton in the coming weeks/months, but I will try to pop in every now and then to give y'all an update. Thank you for sticking around and watching me. It's been super fun. And hopefully I will take y'all on the next journey that we are going to embark on. So that'll be really exciting. All right, so I will finish with Mandy's moment, which is where I pick a question, just a random question that I'll answer so you can learn a little bit more about me. And we are going to pick 191. Oh, I don't know the answer to this. We're going to skip that one. It's not a fun one either. It's what's the worst argument you've ever been in. We're just going to skip it. What's the silliest argument you've ever been in? I don't know. And this might not be the silliest argument I've ever been in, but it kind of sticks out. So I was a teenager, and I was a difficult teenager to live with, if you ask anyone in my family. But I remember, I don't know how old I was, but I remember PMSing, and like it was really, really irritating to me if I was in a bad mood for some reason or another, and someone just automatically blamed it on that. Like it's not cool. Don't do that, because we can easily be upset about something else, and it has nothing to do with that. But I remember when I think my mom and I were unloading groceries in the kitchen, and I got really mad at a head of lettuce. I don't know why I got mad at it, but I started crying, and I just got really mad at this head of lettuce and stormed off into my room and sat there. And I think it was the first time that I realized this is PMS, because that was very irrational to get mad at a head of lettuce. And it was eye-opening, I guess, self-realization that was happening. But that, I think, is the silliest argument that I got in that I can remember. There have been some silly ones, though, especially now with a kid. Some of the things that you argue over with a baby, you think that you would never have argued over, something like that. But anyways, fun question. Short video. I hope y'all are having a wonderful holiday season so far. We are going to go get a Christmas tree, I think, this weekend. They have a local farm that you can pick out your own tree. They cut it down. When I think of picking out my own Christmas tree, I think of the Griswolds going to the forest and just cutting down a 20-foot tree. But you pick it out, they cut it down for you. So I think that'll be really fun for his first Christmas. He won't remember it at all, but that'll be okay. It'll be fun for us. And we'll have pictures, of course. So we're going to do that Saturday. And then tonight, our church has a Christmas festival. And they have a whole bunch of stuff for kiddos. They have a bunch of local craft people that come in. If you want to buy local, it's wonderful. But they have a live nativity scene, which is where they get families to play Mary, Joseph, and Baby Jesus. I said Baby James because we are going to be in that tonight. So that'll be really fun. We're going to go dress up as Mary, Joseph, and Baby Jesus and just sit there and be a live nativity. I've never done it before. I don't know what to expect at all. but the preschool minister who's in charge of it, she emailed us and she said the preschoolers love it and they really think that you're the Holy Family. And so it'll be interesting to see. We'll take tons of pictures, so I'll post that on Instagram when I get a chance. So that will be fun. Thank you all for tuning in. We are right at 30 minutes. I hope y'all have a wonderful Friday, a wonderful weekend, and I will see y'all maybe in a week or two.